My name is Zara Malik. If you look at me today, you'll see a confident woman standing on her own 2 feet, running her own company, and helping thousands of young girls chase their dreams. But what you won't see are the scars, hidden not just on my skin, but deep in my soul. For 32 years, I lived in silence, bound by expectations, crushed by shame, and stripped of choices. My life was written for me before I could even spell my own name. I was born in Faisalabad, in a family where daughters were never meant to dream. From the beginning, I understood the rules. Boys were the pride, girls were the burden. My brother was celebrated for every small achievement, while I was reminded daily that one day, I'd leave the house to belong to someone else. My earliest memories are of my mother whispering, "Stay quiet, Zara. Don't upset your father." Silence became my survival. At 10, when other children played outside, I was inside, cooking, cleaning, and preparing to be the perfect daughter. I once asked my father if I could join a painting class at school. He slammed his hand on the table and said, "Girls don't waste time on nonsense. Learn to cook, that's your real future." That night, I cried myself to sleep, staring at the ceiling, wondering why my heart wanted things it was never allowed to have. As the years passed, my inner world became the only place where I could be myself. I filled secret notebooks with sketches, poems, and small dreams. Sometimes I imagined myself as a famous artist, standing in a gallery where people admired my work. Other times, I saw myself as a teacher, inspiring young children. But in the real world, my voice was dismissed as childish fantasy. My father made sure my brother attended private classes, while I was told to be grateful I was even allowed to attend school at all. By the time I turned 16, my fate was sealed. My father announced my engagement to a man 10 years older than me, someone I had never spoken to, someone I didn't even want. I begged my parents to let me finish my studies first. My mother wept but said, "We don't have a choice. This is for the family's honor." That was the first time I realized my life wasn't mine. It was a bargaining chip in someone else's hands. At 18, I was married off. The wedding looked beautiful from the outside. Lights, music, relatives laughing. But for me, it felt like a funeral. The first night in that new house, I sat on the bed trembling, my hands clutching the edge of my dupatta. My husband, Faraz, didn't look at me with kindness. He looked at me like property, something he owned now. From that day forward, my cage only grew tighter. The years that followed were filled with emotional neglect, insults, and control. Every time I tried to speak, I was told, "A good wife stays silent." When I suggested I could work part-time to support our home, Faraz laughed in my face. "You? Work? Don't embarrass me." The humiliation cut deep. I felt invisible, trapped in 4 walls that never echoed my voice back to me. At 22, I became a mother. Holding my daughter for the first time lit a spark in me. For once, I wasn't just someone's daughter or someone's wife. I was someone's world. I promised myself that she would never live the life I had. But promises are easy, survival is harder. With no money of my own, every decision still belonged to my husband. Some nights, I would cradle my baby and whisper, "One day, I'll give you the freedom I never had." But that freedom came at a cost. At 27, after years of quiet suffering, something broke in me. One night, during yet another argument, Faraz threw my sketchbook, the only remnant of my childhood dream, into the fire. Watching my drawings burn, I realized he wasn't just destroying paper, he was destroying me. That night, I decided, enough was enough. Leaving wasn't easy. In our society, a woman who leaves her husband is branded shameful. My parents begged me to stay, saying, "What will people say if you walk out?" But I was done living for people. With nothing but a few clothes and my daughter in my arms, I left that house and never looked back. The real struggle began then. For months, I slept on a friend's couch, searching for work. Nobody wanted to hire a woman with no experience, a single mother. Relatives turned their backs, saying, "We told you not to leave him." But I had something no one could see, my will to fight. I taught myself graphic design on an old computer, taking small online gigs, earning pennies. I worked late nights, my daughter sleeping beside me, her tiny hand curled around my arm, reminding me why I couldn't give up. Slowly, those pennies turned into survival, survival into stability, and stability into growth. At 30, I launched my own small design studio, hiring women who were also trapped in silence. I gave them the opportunities one never had, telling them, your voice matters. Your work matters. You matter. For the first time in my life, I wasn't invisible. I was seen, respected, and free. But success doesn't erase pain. There were nights I questioned everything, nights when fear of failure kept me awake. I worried about bills, about raising my daughter alone, about the whispers of society. Yet, every time doubt crept in, I remembered the girl inside me, the one who was silenced at 10, married at 18, and broken at 27. I owed her justice. I owed her a life worth living. Today, at 32, my company serves clients worldwide. My daughter is thriving, growing up in a home where her dreams are celebrated, not silenced. I mentor young girls, teaching them skills to stand on their own feet. And my past? It no longer chains me. It fuels me. Because here's the truth. I didn't just survive. I transformed. I turned the ashes of my broken dreams into the foundation of a new life. My story is not about pain, it's about power. To every girl listening, if you've ever been told your voice doesn't matter, if you've ever been silenced, remember this. Your silence is not your destiny. You have the right to rewrite your story. The world may try to close doors on you, but you have the power to break them open. And when you do, you won't just save yourself. You'll light a path for every girl who comes after you. Because behind every closed door is not the end of your life. It's the beginning of your courage.